Okay, today is December 4th, 2017, and right now at 8:30 we have a temperature of 53 degrees. The relative humidity is 17%. The dew point is way down at 9 degrees, and the barometric pressure is 30.04 here in the foothills of Los Angeles. Okay, so right now we're looking at the Western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see a gigantic blockade of high pressure that's been installed by these weather controllers right here, and that's going to stop this weather system right here, this low pressure system. This should be moving in and delivering rain to the west coast, but this is going to be stopped right here. And we can see that not only that, but we have jet stream flow right here, which is being stopped by this transmitter generated blockade right here. We can see none of this moisture is flowing into that low pressure. This is a low pressure system, so higher pressure flows to lower pressure. And that's what we're seeing, but this is all blockaded. And likewise, we have this stationary high pressure. This is not going anywhere for a couple of days. Let's look at the bigger map from the Western U.S. water vapor loop, or rather the Northeast Pacific. We can see the jet stream flow right here, diving down and then turning back up and around and back down. And also there's high-speed jet stream flow right here. This is a tropical flow moving right into Southern California and Arizona and Mexico. But we can see that this blockade is tailored precisely to stop any of this moisture from getting into California. So we're getting a brief break from the chemtrail spraying. So we're seeing another technique in use today. They use high pressure, and that will prevent all this moisture from moving in, and that way the jets can sit on the ground, the chemtrail jets, that is. So the last 2 weeks we've been watching this flow pattern right here going right into California with no rain. And we saw the reason that there was no rain is because the heavy aerosol spraying day in and day out. We saw that. We've been doing the videos on that every day, pretty much every other day. And of course today we see something different. We have high pressure installed, and this will not be shown on television because it's very obvious what's going on here. We have stationary high pressure that is completely sitting stationary in the face of eastbound weather flow. We have the jet stream right here, and also right here with a low pressure system. And this high is the reason why we're having wind right now in Southern California. We've got low pressure down here in Southern California, and we've got a high installed right next to that. So we've got clockwise air flow this way, and then we have the low down here, and there's counterclockwise flow at the surface level, and that's where we're having the wind. Now we have the surface analysis, or actually this is the jet stream map. Let's look at that first. We can see the flow pattern here down into California through Montana and Idaho. And then we have the tropical flow right here, which is, there's a blockade. Go back and take another look at that. And right here. So the tropical flow is being completely isolated through here from this cooler North Pacific flow pattern on the jet stream. So at any rate, there's zero rain. If we look at the Doppler map right here, see nothing. There's no rain. There's a tiny amount up here in Oregon near the coast, but really nothing. Getting back to the pressure maps, you see the surface pressure map here, and we have we've got low pressure right down in here, and we've got high pressure right here. So that this combination, the proximity of the high and the low, is producing the wind right through Los Angeles in basically a southerly direction to the southwest. All right, let's look at the 500 millibar. We can see the okay, technical difficulty here. Okay, let's go back and try this again. Okay, here we go. 500 millibar right here. You can see that installed high right adjacent to this low, and we have low pressure right here at the 500 millibar level. See some squiggly lines on these isobars. That's an indication of varying degrees of high and low pressure. Here is the 300 millibar map, and we see high pressure right here. This ridge. We've got a low right here. That's that Gale-force system trying to move in, which has been blocked. And we have right here over California, low pressure at the 300 millibar level, which is 30,000 feet. All right, you saw that. That's the jet stream. Now let's get back to the maps. We have a ideal flow pattern for rain. We've got a Gale-force system offshore right here, and it's completely blockaded. You see that right here. Looking at this in the IR map, we see that none of this moisture is getting anywhere near this zone of high pressure. So this is how the drought was manufactured from 2010 all the way through 2016. Seeing it right here. So it's been a while since we've seen this sort of overt display of weather manipulation, but this is sort of a no choice deal. I think that everything is tied to Wall Street. We've got derivatives being traded. There's no reason other than financial losses that we're going to see rain prevented on this scale in California. All these weather systems we've been watching the last 3-4 weeks, more like the last 2 months. We should have gotten rain in October and November, and as I said yesterday, we've had 0.37 inches so far this season, starting July 1st. Okay, let's look at the surface analysis map, and we can see the high pressure right here. We have a trough shown all the way from Oregon all the way down into Southern California. And the combination of the high and low pressure is causing the wind. This is that Gale-force system offshore that's being blockaded, 1,006 millibar. This should be moving in and delivering rain. Instead, it's going to be forced to the north. Nothing's going to get into this zone of high pressure. So there it is. We have overt weather manipulation on display. Here's the swell report. We can see that offshore of California, Southern California, we have 11-foot seas. Up here in Northern California, we have 10-foot seas. And then up here in the Gulf of Alaska, 30-foot seas. That giant storm that had a right angle on it yesterday has been squashed and beat down quite a bit. If we go to the big map, once again, we can see there's not a whole lot left of in terms of organization of this system up here. This is where the right angle was situated. Then we have a new development right here. This is a developing storm right here. All right, so we'll keep an eye on all this and just leave it right here. And once again, we won't see this on television. And this is precisely the reason we have animated cartoon type weather. Okay, this is not CO2, by the way. CO2 doesn't cause this, nor does smokestack emissions. Okay, that's it.